going on, guys and girls? It's the Short Bear, and today we're going to talk about my trades and also about how to adapt to your market. So today I traded two tickers, OCGN, and I also traded NAT. Both tickers are somewhat different to what I usually trade, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this video about it. So first of all, we had OCGN. OCGN is a ticker that popped up at 7 a.m. this morning. And right away, it started rejecting this 170 area, came back down hard with selling orders, and as soon as it popped, I started shorting some right around VWAP over under, and as it moved up, I just cut it. And right there, I thought right away, this is weird. We've got a lot of bids, they're kind of absorbing, but not only absorbing, but also kind of buying all the asks. So right there, I thought, all right, I'm just gonna have the mentality of scalping, right? So the ticker that I traded, or the idea behind the trade was, I really want, a bounce and selling to come into the stock. What did we get? We got a lot of bids absorbing, and we got, offer buying. So every offer got bought up every single time, and we chipped through it level to level. So that's exactly what I mean, right? So you need to compare the plan to what is actually happening. If you have a plan of, let's say, shorting because you think this is a gap and crap, this is a fader setup. If we start, bouncing, I'm going to short. If they buy the offers the whole time and they support it on the bid, absorbing, your plan is just plain and simple wrong. All right, your plan is wrong, so just cut it. And that's exactly where adapting plays a role, right? You need to be aware of the trade. You need to be aware of the situation. And after that, you can play it and adapt faster, of course. So after that, started, scalping, right? So overextension, that's the word, near resistance, and taking the pullback. So I started shorting again right in here, near 70, and I covered into the wash towards VWAP, not on this one, but as it bounced and came back down, I covered everything at 161, so right here. And after that, my plan was, this one is actually holding VWAP, they are buying the offers and so on, so I'm gonna be, trying to short within that risk. So if they start really buying the offers and so on, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But if it starts getting heavy and so on, I'm gonna get involved, right? Yeah, the other thing you need to think about is the type of market we're in, right? So as you know, the market is pretty slow in small caps, and we don't get a lot of runs, right? We don't get a lot of runners. The only runs we really get are pre-market, and after that, usually we start fading or going sideways for the rest of the day, which is really, frustrating because you can't get in on any pop. Your risk reward is not as good. You don't get those extra, 10, 15% that we spike at the open to short into, because that is going to, add to your winner. And in general, it's just harder to get, a nice risk versus reward. Like if we start shorting at the open, as it happened to me this morning, I got squeezed, right? So we had the open, we started coming down, and we popped back up. So I started shorting just my starter right in here, as you can see, and I got squeezed right away. On this ticker, I made a distinct mistake. The mistake was sizing in too big too quickly, which led to a lot of paper cuts on this one. But the paper cuts were not big, so you might think, all right, he started shorting every single wash and then got taken out, so stopped out. But actually, it's not really what happened. So the first one was right. So the first one I started shorting and it just ripped, so I had to cover right away. I got some slippage and I was a bit slow. But after that, I kind of started shorting when the ask got stacked. So let's say we've got a level, right? So we've got, let's say, 165-ish. 165 is on the bid. 166 is on the ask. The 165 just pushed from 164. And we start going into the next level, so 166. And we absorb. The ask, gets stacked up again. So what just got chipped away, or not only chipped away, but if it stays there and the number doesn't change, someone is absorbing, and I saw that on the tape as well. And as soon as we come down, so the offers that are over it come down as well and stack. I'm going to start shorting. I'm going to start shorting the bid if I can. And I tried getting in as much as I could every single time. We dip back down, and even if it gets back up, I'm just going to cover it at the level I just shorted, right? So I want to short at that level with the absorbing, risking 1 cent, if possible, of course, or I want to short as soon as the bids start disappearing, right? Because that gives you a higher chance, to get the expected move instead of having your orders just sitting there and just getting filled because you could get just ripped in one candle. So what I saw was we got that rip just over 170 here, and we stuffed right away. And as you can see from the volume, let's see, that candle was on some bigger volume and we stuffed it, right? We didn't get a rip or whatever, but the volume was there. So a lot of longs got bagged right here, and we got the longs and so on that are chasing it. So as soon as I saw that, and I saw, absorbing on the ask comes down, absorbing on the ask comes down, absorbing on the ask comes down. At that point, you have to think about the longs are in it, right? They want to break over 170, they want to rip, and in this case, we didn't get it. So what are going to do? They're going to sell, and we've got also all the short sellers, right? I knew that on this one, a lot of short sellers would be involved because it's easier to get. And as soon as we broke down, to support, pre-market support. I started covering some. I think I covered 2/3 or something, right around there. Even more, I think 3/4 or something. And then I put it all back down, all back in once we got. So I expected it, maybe to trap because of the high short percentage on this one. So the high short percentage regarding that I knew every single chat room and so on would be playing it short. As soon as we popped to VWAP right here, and we stuffed it, and we came back down to the support area, I thought, all right, all the longs that are just, that try to get in there, to the longs that are starting to get in there just got bagged, plus all the longs from the morning. So we are really likely, to fade further, to crack basically that big support, because you have to know that, all right, we may have some shorts, some longs right in here that just bailed, but we also have all those shorts that are risking off the pre-market support and the low of that first minute candle. So as soon as we came back down from that stuff, I just moved my stop. My average was really good, and I shorted some more. So basically I was risking nothing at that point. All right, how's the money? And we got the crack, and I started covering into pieces back to, so I got a fill at 43 right here, so I started getting filled here and the rest was right here, but I was down to 1.8. We bounced and I added back to right around 5.8, I think. And as we moved down, as we cracked back, I covered a piece right in here, and as soon as we bounced, tried cracking but couldn't make it, I covered the rest. So I was out completely at that time, and after that I was watching NET. As you can see right here, that's when I got back in it, so involved in the stock, because we were getting back to that pre-market support, which is now resistance, right? So as soon as we moved down from right here, so as soon as we spiked over that previous support, which was, right here, I knew an amount of shorts would just get out, right? They want to get out. Resistance just broke, and that's what squeezed it just a bit here. But the weird thing about this one is, again, they bought the ask. They bought the ask, bought the ask, bought the ask the whole time. So as soon as we got right in here, right around that pre-market resistance, so previous support becomes resistance, right? So right here, started shorting. We got down, couldn't crack 150. And as soon as we started reclaiming, I saw some big ask at 155, 156, and I held it right here. All right, so 156 was holding on the ask the whole time, and I thought we might, we are at resistance at that point. We might roll over from here, but as soon as I saw them again buying the ask, we've got 17K, 16K, 15K sitting there, and they're just getting, chipped away like that, like it's nothing. After overextension like that on a ticker that should be fading, in theory, I got out completely, right? And I just waited. I didn't short over VWAP. I didn't short anything there because it wasn't heavy. They just, some profit takers move it down just a bit, they buy the ask. Move down, ask. Move down, buy the ask. Same thing over and over again. After that, look for a parabolic move, right? So we got that near 180, so I thought, you know what, this is some big volume that we're doing now. Shorts are getting squeezed, and they're gonna, you know, some longs are also involved, right? The manipulators and so on, and they need to sell as well. So right here, as we came down near 180, it supported for a second, then the ask came down, same thing as right in the morning. So I shorted and I covered just under it, right? Just a quick scalp, something really easy, 90% winning rate, just taking the easy, obvious setup. After that, what I did is we came back down, right? So we kind of curled, but on lower volume. We curled on lower volume, and then we got this kind of exhaustion candle on some bigger volume, as you can see here. And we slammed back down right away, couldn't make it to the high, so lower high at that point. Tried making it, couldn't make it, and as soon as I saw that, started shorting, basically risking the high of that other candle, so 155 was my risk. And as we came back down, a big offer showed up, and he got back. So they started buying the offer again. So I thought, you know what, just gonna get out of the way. I got out of the way, and they dumped it. All right, happens, not nice, but basically a break-even trade. And after that, what I thought was, you know what, this one is pretty weird, right? So first of all, I thought we might break down or at least move towards the previous support at 170. So as we cracked and bounced and got heavy, I shorted some and I just covered it as soon as we got back over it. Got a bit of slippage, but nothing major. Size was also okay. But after that, what I thought was, you know what, this might actually run because we have, you know, the market, right? The market you need to adapt to is everyone is shorting, every single chat room, every single broker and so on. And in general, we get more short sellers year after year, right? So the more shorts, the more the likelihood of a squeeze. The market, statistically speaking, should be running, right, with the time. Usually in October, we run. This month, nothing yet. So you need to be aware that we might, you know, skip to a hotter market soon. So that was my thought process, and I knew a lot of shorts would be in this one. And as soon as we started, you know, we kind of curled, right? So we had this low, we cracked, supported, moved back up. You know, tried moving back to the support, couldn't make it this time, right? We supported, absorbed on the bid. So as soon as I saw that, and we you know, came back down from over 80 to 80 here, I started buying. Some big size here, bigger size on these here, right? Just a bit. So that was the biggest size I had today, because the stop was also super tight, and we had a nice offer at 177. So I thought if we make it under there, I'm just gonna cut it, right? If I get some slippage, that's also okay, because I do think this one can run. I do think shorts are really, you know, getting wrecked at this point. So, but they bought the offers again, dip, absorption, and then just rip it over to, right, so to, or 2-2. And I started selling into the first spike just to take some profit, some risk off, because I didn't want, you know, an instant slam back that could happen. And on this one, I got out 1/2 of my share size. And as we move back over to, I had an order at 207, 206, 205. Couldn't make it there, so as soon as I saw that, not really, you know, what I expected is $2 just to get eaten up. You know, everyone's thinking $2 is gonna hold, and then over to just fly to like 220. That's what I wanted. So 210, 220, that was the area I was looking for. But as soon as we, you know, we started buying 201, 202, 203, it got heavy, so I sold some more there, and I had 310 left. Which was for break even. So that was my average, and as you can see, we came back down. I let it test the area, thinking we might bounce from here. We didn't bounce, covered, and so I sold my, and tried getting another position. So that my position was done, right? So right in here, my position was done. I was okay with it, and as you can see, we're moving after hours. Also, let's see if we can really rip. That would be nice. Might be trading it after the video. So I got some long here. The plan was done, but my plan was it might really well bounce. We're getting overextended to the downside, and I thought we might bounce from this 170 area, which was also, as I said, the morning support. And yeah, couldn't really bounce. We tried bouncing, couldn't make it with the order, so I just sold it for near break even. You know, taking low risk setups, So as you can see, my losers are basically 1 cent here, 2 cent here, and then a winner 20 cent, right? 20 to 30 cent. So you need to keep in mind, adjust the risk reward, play after play. It's really important that you need to that you can adapt also, because this one started out as a great short, right? It looked great, and then we started reclaiming. You need to be aware of the tape, aware of what the stock is doing in general, and data, of course, right? If you know, usually in October we run and something starts absorbing, buying the ask, we've got some news and so on and so on. That might be, a good tell, a good sign. So the other ticker I traded was NAT. On this one I was short. So if you look at the daily, let's pull up the daily first, right? So as you can see, the daily is really overextended. So what is happening is Trump announced, the China deal and so on, the tariffs, and because of that, and also the war that is going on, the things are going on in Saudi Arabia, oil tankers are making far more money than in the past. So what was previously $15,000 per hour, if I remember correctly, is now, so the revenue is now 70, right? So they got a lot more revenue, and this is exactly why this one is running, or was running in the past few days. My thought was, we're getting really overextended. I do recognize the fact that there is news, right? I'm not blindly chasing it, not knowing what is happening, but what I thought was this one, with the news, it doesn't need to really go parabolic, right? We might see a nice trend forming. It's a trend. It's not something, a catalyst that might be gone just within, a few hours, a few days, but it might actually last a bit longer this time. So my thought is, overextension means setup, right? Overextension, that's what I'm looking for, and taking a nice move back down before the next days we start grinding back up, kind of cup and handle to the upside. So we got down, so we started going parabolic. I was looking at the other stock, that's why I didn't trade it on this parabolic here, but I was looking for it. As soon as we moved back down, we started bouncing, and it got stuffed right away. So again, scalp, easy setup. I'm waiting for my bigger bounce, but for the time being, I'm okay with taking some scalps. So as we broke down 375, I took a short and I covered into the wash. And after that, I thought, all right, waiting for a bounce. We tried bouncing, couldn't make it. Tried bouncing, couldn't make it. So this one I actually chased. So I thought we might curl down, get a nice dump, not for the whole day, but again, a scalp. And it reclaimed, so I took it off. But after that, we tried spiking over this 170 area. Couldn't make it, couldn't make it, couldn't make it. So right there, I thought, you know what, it's probably not going to bounce. So I started in there. My stop was right over the 372. And as soon as I saw stuff a second time, I took some more size, got back down, and my stop was here in mind, right? So 372. And I just shorted the pubs, shorted the pubs, shorted the pubs, and shorted basically right here. So here it got really close to my stop, which was now at that point after those ads 166. I mean 366. But it rejected, so right here, that was basically the last ad, right? Now it needs to break down. Didn't, curled up, I just, got out right away. Didn't make any sense for me. But as you can see, we didn't find much volume after that breakout, so I started shorting again, and as soon as we curled back up, took it off. Same plan here. I'm thinking every single long is in now. We might see some type of rollover type of move to the downside, and once we break this level here, so 370, those longs are bagged, and the more we move down, the more longs are bagged, right? And then what I thought was a nice move towards 330, 340. That was what I was looking for, and as you can see, I'm shorting here 372, 370, and as soon as we move up, and my plan is basically false, I just cut it. It's as easy as that, right? So the best trades are working right away. Usually you can't even add, that's a problem. So as soon as your plan is not working, when you enter, the likelihood for you to be wrong on the trade is fairly high. So just keep in mind, adapt to the market. All right, adapt to the market, know what market you are in right now, and know what happened in the past, right? You need to compare what is happening now to the past because that gives you a good idea of what could happen and what usually happens. If you want to learn more about all of this, join the Manage chat. That's where I do all of this live with members on mic through videos and so on and so on. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.